Long lining. I love it more than hand sanitizer and loo roll at the moment. You can work your horse as if you're on board, minus any crookedness you might have as a rider, whilst being able to observe every part of him. Use a suitable bridle, preferably a snaffle, and loose-fitting side reins, from his bit to low surcingle rings, or like for like around your girth if you don't have a surcingle. Then run the 2 lunge lines either side of his body, starting at the bit, running through those low rings on the surcingle, and then lengthen the lines around the back of him so you can walk about 3 to 4 meters behind the horse, just within his eyesight, so he can keep an eye on you and he doesn't get startled. Hold them as if you were riding and use a combination of voice and equal tickles of the lines to move him forwards, imitating your leg. Voice and half halts to slow down and stop. Practice this in an enclosed area for God's sake until you've got your knitting sorted, and given the current climate, wear a hat and gloves, preferably from Champion if you want your helmet, and HKM Sportswear gloves. I would at least expect a bobble hat silk or a Range Rover for those plugs. For left turns, widen the left hand and tickle the right rib cage, and vice versa for right turns. And once you've got this, you can replace hacking with long lining, and even get creative meandering around trees and things to get your horse bending left and right. The blooper outtakes of this horse, with horses running over to it at a gallop, are for sale to the highest bidder. Okay, so long lining on a circle looks intimidating, but it's basically lunging with an extra outside rein. You have control of the outside shoulder and hind legs, so you can circle anywhere without being towed around the field at 20 miles an hour. It does take some getting used to, but it frees you up to constantly change the rein, do straight lines, and change the bend, all without stopping. You use your outside rein to half halt and control the tempo along with your voice, and leave your inside rein kind of nice and light to keep the bend, just as you would if you were riding the horse. So here I've got the horse cantering on a smaller circle, and you can see with using the boards, 2 poles and long lines, you can get a horse's canter fairly collected with very, very little effort. Again, it's as if you're riding the horse really. You know, you've got your outside rein balancing the horse, you've got a very light contact to the inside, and you just slightly walk with the horse a little bit and just test his abilities and keep it varied. Lunging is obviously helpful. One of the best things you can do is see your horse's stiff side in comparison to his supple side. Horse I'm lunging in this video is stiffer to the right trot, so I've tried to combat that by bringing the lunge line through the inside bit ring and attaching it to the surcingle, creating some inside flexion. As you could see, he wanted to run through the outside shoulder when I did that, so by putting some poles in the arena to make the circle seem smaller to him and enclose it with a corner, you could see that we can get more right bend and we can hold his shoulder, creating more control.